Now, there's a lot of points out there, and I know you know them better than I do. I've gone on your website, I've seen some of the highlights and things that you're really concerned about. Let's start from the beginning. What do you want people to know about Seth Grossman, and why would they give you the vote?
Well, the first thing is I didn't just come along yesterday. Politics has been part of my life since I was 10 years old. I have a talent for it, I have the motivation for it, and ironically, my interest in politics, and by the way, there's a famous quote by an ancient Greek political leader from Pericles, from I guess 2,200 years ago. He says, just because you don't take an interest in politics does not mean that someday politics won't take an interest in you. And I was 10 years old when politics first took an interest in me. I was trying to, I had a paper route for the Philadelphia Bulletin, and I was buying papers for 3 cents a paper and delivering them for 5 cents a paper. And I had my paper route, but I grew up in Atlantic City, and on the boardwalk they were selling papers for 10 cents a paper. So I decided I would get smart. I bought 50 extra papers, and I went out and I was going to sell papers on the boardwalk, and that way I'd make 7 cents a paper instead of 2 cents a paper. I was doing it for a grand total of 3 days before I was approached by the ward leader of my town that said, you can't sell papers here at age 10.
Wow.
I said, why? He said, well, you didn't pay your ICE money yet. ICE money? What's that? Well, you had to pay to the political organization for the privilege of paying, of selling papers on the boardwalk. So at age 10, and I remember as a kid, I was just asking my teacher, well, how could they do that? You know, the First Amendment, even at age 10. So I've had that interest in politics ever since then. And I went to Duke University, I took an interest in government and politics, and I was determined to clean up Atlantic City when I returned from college. And I was, believe it or not, looking at me with my balding hair and about to qualify for Medicare, but I was the boy wonder of Atlantic City when I came back after college in 1975, formed a civic organization, organized people politically. We were going to prove that conservative Republican principles would work in an urban, mostly minority town, and we got elected. I got elected to city council, other people got elected, I got elected to freeholder, and I thought that the Republicans would be so happy to see that you had a genuine grassroots conservative Republican movement in an urban town, because they're always saying we're reaching out to minorities, we had Hispanics, we had blacks, and what I found out was that the Republicans in New Jersey were more terrified of having actual independent people making a living, going into business, not needing favors from politicians for permits, and being true, prosperous American citizens. That terrified them. That the Republicans, as well as the Democrats, had an interest of keeping everybody, in other words, to have laws so complicated that everybody's in violation of something, so that you need a favor from someone in City Hall so you could get by. They wanted everybody to pay such high taxes that if you wanted to succeed, you needed a friend in City Hall to get a tax abatement or a special deal or permit. And that's when and basically, after 4 years, I brought unity to Atlantic City, that the Republicans and Democrats were united to make sure that Seth Grossman would never get reelected to any office again. And
that was the mission.
So that was my background. So I got, like many people, got disgusted with politics, moved to the suburbs, raised my kids, and tried to pretend that everything was okay by moving. But now, like many other people, 30 years later, I look at what's happening to our country, and I say, my God, I feel like the Magnificent Seven, like a washed-up gunslinger that wants to come back and show how we can save the town with all the knowledge I had. So that's who Seth Grossman is. And so I have this knowledge of politics, knowledge of government. I know exactly what it takes to fix New Jersey, and what it takes to fix New Jersey is as simple as looking at our state flag. You look at the motto, liberty and prosperity. If you want the prosperity, you have to have the liberty. What's liberty? Liberty is a system where everybody follows the same rules, where the laws are simple, where the taxes are low, where everybody has a fair chance to make it, where you don't need a godfather to help you out to make it. And that's what it's all about.